2 faction focuses for video on the ones that I'm trying to get caught up on. The new releases each day I'll still do by themselves, but unfortunately with moving and all that stuff going on, I got behind, and 10th is coming right around the corner, so I need to get these done before the indexes drop. So we're gonna roll right into the Necron one first. See what they give us. Hopefully Necrons have a more enjoyable playstyle in this edition. In last edition, they really weren't that survivable. Didn't do that much damage. They just scored a lot of secondary points and then got tabled and still won. Probably wasn't fun to play. I know it wasn't fun to play against, so hopefully they are much more balanced and enjoyable to play with and into this edition. Let's go ahead and look at reanimation. If your army faction is Necrons, at the end of your command phase, each unit of your army with this ability activates its reanimation protocols and reanimates D3 wounds. Each time such a unit reanimates a wound, if that unit contains one or more models with fewer than their starting number of wounds remaining, select one of those models. That model regains one lost wound. If all models in that unit have their starting number of wounds, but that unit is not at its starting strength, one destroyed model is returned to that unit with one wound remaining. Alright, so fairly simple. If you have wounded models, you heal them first. Then you bring models back, and then if they have multi-wounds, then you start healing them. Can't go past your starting strength. Once such a unit is at starting strength, and all models with their starting number of wounds, nothing further happens yet. That's, yeah. So starts at the end of your command phase. Alright, so basically when you score objectives, so you can still heal the move back on objectives, but it's not after each time you're shot or each time you're attacked after each unit finishes activating. So definitely a nerf there, which we'll see how bad that is, because it was super strong. So they're going to need some point reductions or other stuff to make them solid. So we'll have to wait and see on all that. Necron's Awakened Dynasty, that's going to be their detachment rule for the first detachment. While a Necron character model is leading this unit, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, add one to the hit roll. Alright, so instead of handing out my Willie Dunn, looks like just if the character's in a unit, give them +1 to hit automatically, and that's any character leading unit, so seems fine, seems okay. Monolith. It looks like they're showing us the back of the card. Or no, this... Oh yes, both, front and the back. Alright. So, movement 7, toughness 14, save of 2, 20 wounds, leadership 7, objective control 8. Not a bad profile. Model has 4 Gauss Flux Arcs and with 4 Death Rays. So it comes stocked with the Flux Arcs, a Particle Whip, and the Portal of Exile, and you can change the arc for Death Rays. Alright, Death Rays have sustained hits D3, so on a 6 to hit, you'll get D3 extra hits. 24-inch range, 1 attack. Alright, so you're going to have to get a 6 on that 1 attack. Bliss skill 3. Oh, well, you'll get 4 of them, though, because they're... so you have 4 shots. Alright, so that's better. Bliss skill 3, strength 12, 94, d6 plus 1 damage. Solid. Gauss Flux Arcs, lethal hit, so 6 is auto wound, rapid fire 3. So 24-inch range, at 12 you're getting 6 attacks, at 24 you're getting 3. Hits on 3, strength 6, neg 1, 1 damage. Not bad, strength 6, neg 1, solid with the AP going down on a lot of stuff. Still having neg 1 is good there. 1 damage. Then you get your Particle Whip, which is Blast and has Devastating Wounds, so 6s to wounds will be giving you mortals. 24-inch range, 3d6, then with Blast, that's pretty solid. Bliss skill 3, strength 8, neg 1, 2 damage, so if you get that 6 to wound, you're doing 2 mortals. Then the Pearl of Exile is a melee weapon, 6 attacks, hits on 2s, which is great for a vehicle. Strength 8, Neg 2, 3 damage. That's fairly solid profile for a vehicle in combat, especially since they can shoot out now. Deadly Demise D6, so within 6 inches blows up D6. Deep Strike, Reanimation Protocols. So looks like it can reanimate wound. It'll heal D3 a turn as well. Interesting. I guess instead of Living Metal, they just have Reanimation Protocols on it. Eternity Gate. In the reinforcement steps of your movement phase, you can select one Necron infantry unit from your army that is either in reserves or on the battlefield. If you select the latter, remove that unit from the battlefield and place it into reserves. That unit is then set up anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within 6 inches of this model and not within engagement range of any enemy models. That unit cannot declare a charge this turn. Alright, so basically you funnel units from reserve onto the battlefield, and it looks like you can pick up a unit from the battlefield and bring it in. And place it into reserves, and then I guess you immediately bring it from reserves, or are you placing it into reserves and bring it in next turn? Yeah, you bring it back in the same turn. Something. Oh, but it doesn't give a range. Like the unit doesn't look like it has to be within 6 inches of the monolith or anything to suck out and be. So you could suck a unit from the other side of the table. Very interesting. And it doesn't restrict the size, it doesn't look like. Unit is set up anywhere on the battlefield is wholly within 6 of this model. So the only limit on the size is you just have to be wholly within 6. You have to place all the models wholly within 6 of the monolith. And you can't charge. I'm assuming... I'm wondering if this gets around the 9-inch reserve rule. Because you can't charge, you can't drop, but could you drop within 3 inches or something, say? I'll have to reread the reserve rules. Because the reserves just flat... No, because reserves say... I know strategic reserves say 9 inches. Deep Strike says 9 inches. In the rulebook, is there a flat thing that says all reserves have to come in 9 inches? Or since they don't have another rule like Deep Strike or strategic, do they get to get around that with the Eternity Gate? That could be interesting if they do. So once he's down to 7 wounds, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Degrading is not nearly as crippling as it was last edition. So I like that they kept the mechanics some way, but yeah, your vehicles, if they're alive, they're still useful. What else will give us? Necron Warriors. Movement 4, movement 5, toughness 4, 4-up save, 1 wound, leadership 7, objective roll 2. Pretty generic stat line for battle line. Nothing wrong with that. Gauss Flare has lethal hits, rapid fire 1, range 24, so at 12 you're getting 2 shots. Blitzskill 4, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. 6 is hit auto wound. Gauss Reaper also has lethal hits, so I guess that's the new Gauss rule, is lethal hits. So 6 is hit auto wound. Range 12, 2 attacks, 4 per hit, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Alright, so within 12 they get the same amount of shots. It's just the flare can shoot 1 shot at 24, but it's going to have less strength and AP. Alright, seems like a solid weapon to close combat. 1 attack, hits on 4, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Very generic. Their number is Legion. Each time this reanimation protocol activates, it reanimates D6 wounds instead of D3 wounds. Unless it is within range of an objective marker you control, in which case it reanimates D3 plus 3. Ooh, that's solid. So if you're on an objective, they're auto bringing back 4. Minimum. Up to 4 they're bringing 4 to 6 instead of 1 to 6. Alright, so that's... So if you keep them protected fairly good, they take a couple casualties, you just bring them right back almost guaranteed. Alright, so that's a little better than the D3. So looks like, I don't know if it's just them or if Immortals or some more of the battle line will get that ability, but that definitely makes your troops or battle line much better with that ability. Weapon Spotlight. What do we got here? Doomsday Cannon. Blast Heavy. Alright, so 72-inch range, so you're always in range, whether or not you can see. You said, yeah, but you're always in range, you just need line of sight. D6 plus 1 attack with Blast, so you'll be getting 5-man unit D6 plus 2, 10-man unit D6 plus 3. So that's decent. You're never getting less than 2 shots. 3 up to hit. If you're stationary, you'll be hitting on 2s because it's heavy. Strength 15, -4 damage. Alright, very solid gun. These things had massive negatives if you moved them in the last edition, so if you run them in your Necrons, you're used to trying to not have to move them. So if you can pull that off, you're going to be hitting on 2s, but you're not nearly as hurt if you do need to move it. Overwhelming Veneration. In your movement phase, if this model remains stationary on the turn, its Doomsday Cannon has a Devastating Wounds ability. Oh, so that you definitely want to stay still. So now if you roll that 6 to wound, you're doing 4 mortals. Yeah, so you definitely want to park these somewhere with a good firing angle. Just kind of sit there. On an objective, if you can pull it off. Then what else will give us? Spear of the Void Dragon. Strike anti-vehicle 2+, so it's going to do critical wounds on vehicles on a 2. 5 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 12, -3, d6 plus 2. Alright, so strength 12, it's going to be wounding most vehicles on 4s or 3s, but it's anti-vehicle 2+, so I'm assuming it's going to be wounding vehicles on 2s, even though it wouldn't with its strength. Because I know a lot of things in the last edition, like, oh, if you trigger something on a 3, but that 3 actually wouldn't hit, you wouldn't get it. But I don't think there's going to be any vehicles that are toughness 6 or less, so giving an anti-vehicle 2+ would be pointless if it doesn't auto-wound vehicles. So going off that, I'm assuming he's going to be wounding vehicles on the 2. Doing critical wounds, which I don't know if the Void Dragon has some other rule that triggers off critical hits. It'd be great. Otherwise, it's without another special rule. Anti-vehicle 2+ is really the critical wound part of it doesn't matter. It's just your wounding. But with D6 plus 2 damage, -3, that's still pretty solid. Sweep, 10 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 8, -1, 2 damage. This doesn't have anti-vehicle, so that's solid. If you end up stuck into like some troops or something, that should just pretty much decimate them pretty good. Alright, then let's look at these stratagems. We got Protocol of the Hungry Void. It's an Awakened Dynasty stratagem. When in the fight phase, 1 Necron unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, add 1 of the strength characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in a unit. In addition, if a Necron's character is leading your unit, until the end of the phase, improve the armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in a unit by 1. Alright, so +1 strength, and if you have a character in it, it's +1 strength and +1 AP. Alright, that would make a big blob of warriors or something if you got a character in it actually hit a little bit in combat. Something you'd have to worry about, and it's only 1 CP. That's a pretty decent stratagem, I think. Alright, so that's all they give us on the Necrons. Pretty solid, I think. Nothing game-breaking. A little underwhelmed by reanimation, but looks like they gave like some of the battle line extra animation, which is very good. Stats on the units seem pretty solid. Doomsday Cannon I really like. So excited to see what the index looks like and how they'll be able to play the missions and stuff. Because with everybody getting the same secondaries, the Necrons need to be able to hold their own in the fight better than they could before, because they're not going to just be outscoring people automatically like they did a lot of times before. Alright, so that's it for the Necrons, we're going to roll on into the Astra Militarum here. We'll look at all those tanks. Alright, so the Hammer of the Emperor. That guy almost looks like a vampire. Oh, him too. Look at those teeth. Well, I don't know what planet they're from, but they need a little help. Alright, so let's roll into some of these Astra Militarum rules. So we're going to have the faction rules. Army rule, voice of command. Probably going to be orders. If your army faction is Astra Militarum in your command phase, officer models from your army of this building can issue orders. Yeah. Each officer's data sheet will specify how many orders it can issue and which units are eligible to receive those orders. Each time an officer model issues an order, select one of the orders below, then select one eligible friendly unit within 6 of that officer model to issue it to. Till the start of your next command phase, the unit you selected is affected by that order. Unless otherwise stated, the unit can only be affected by one order at a time. Any order subsequently issued to that unit replaces the current one. All right. The unit being affected by an order becomes battle shock. That order ceases to affect the unit. All right. So once again, battle shock is a major thing in 10th edition. Move, move, move. Add 3 to the move characteristics of models in this unit. I believe it was a second move. Like you moved in the moving phase and you could move again in the shooting phase before, if I'm remembering correctly. So, not nearly as good, but 3 inches to your move isn't the worst thing in the world. Fixed bayonets, improve weapon skill of melee weapons by 1. Okay. Take aim, improve ballistic skill of ranged weapons by models by 1. Alright, that's probably going to be used more. First rank fire, second rank fire, improve attack surface with rapid fire weapons equipped models unit by 1. Alright, so it's just giving them 1 extra shot. Attack rapid fire weapons. Yeah, just 1 extra shot. So it's not even improving the rapid fire and the attacks characteristic. Just improving the attacks characteristic, and the rapid fire is still giving you whatever number it gave you. So it just gives you 1 extra shot per guy. Depending on what you're shooting, that could be fine. Take cover. Improve the save characteristic of models in this unit by 1. Cannot improve the model saved to better than 3 up. Duty and honor. Improve leadership and objective control characteristics of models in this unit by 1. That's fine. So pretty generic orders, just slight buffs, nothing game breaking here. I think the +1 ballistic skill on a shooty army is going to be the this will be the most effective one, I think, but the rest of these are fine. Improving your save's good. So what units? Cadian shock troops. Alright, so they give us both sides of the data sheet. For every 10 models of this unit, up to 2 shock troopers can have their las guns replaced with one of the following: flamer, grenade launcher, melta gun, plasma gun. As the asterisk, you cannot select the same weapon more than once per unit unless it contains 20 models, in which case you cannot select the same weapon more than twice per unit. Alright, so at a 10-man unit, you can only take 1 of each. Once you get to 20, you can take 2 of any if you wanted to. Alright, for every 10 models of this unit, 1 shock trooper equipped with a las gun can be equipped with 1 Foxcaster, and then you cannot replace his las gun. Any number of shock troop sergeants can each have their las pistol replaced with 1 bolt pistol. Any number of shock troop sergeants can have their las pistol and chainsword replaced with a drum-fed autogun and 1 close combat weapon. Ooh, a drum-fed autogun. That sounds interesting. Unit composition: 1 shock trooper sergeant and 9 shock troopers, or 2 shock trooper sergeant and 18 shock troopers. All right, so it looks like you got to take them in 10 or 20. You can't take 15. You can't take. All right. Every shock trooper sergeant equipped with a las pistol, chainsword. Every shock trooper is equipped with a las gun, close combat weapon. This unit can have up to 2 leader units attached to it, provided no more than 1 of those units is a command squad. If it does, and this bodyguard unit is destroyed, the leader units attached to it become separate units with their original starting strength. Alright, so you can add 2 unit leaders to it, but if the unit dies, the leaders don't stay as a 2-leader unit. They become 2 individuals, and you can't add more than 1 command squad. Alright. Movement 6, toughness 3, 5 up save, 1 wound, leadership 7, and physical 2. Pretty much what I would expect from them. Nothing shocking there. Bolt pistol, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 4 up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Drum fed autogun, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, 4 up to hit, strength 3, AP 0, 1 damage. Oh, that's okay. For the name drum fed autogun, I was a little hopeful for how many attacks it would get, but it's only 2. Flamer ignores cover torrent, 12-inch range, d6 shots, auto hits, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Yeah, generic flamer profile. Grenade launcher, frag blast, 24-inch range, d3 shots, 4 up to hit, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Crack launcher, 24-inch range, 1 attack, 4 up to hit, strength 9, negative d3 damage. Yep, pretty much. Don't like that's d3. I wish it was just flat 3 or d6. But, I mean, it's just a grenade, it's not a missile, so that's fine. Las gun, rapid fire 1, 1 attack, ballistic 4, strength 3, AP 1 damage. So with first rank, second rank, you'll be getting 2 attacks or 3 at 12. That's okay. Las pistol, 12-inch, 1 attack, 4 up, strength 3, AP 0, 1 damage. Melt-A-Gun, Melt-A-2, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 4 up to hit, strength 9, 4 d6. So in half range, so within 6, you'll do an extra 2 damage. Pretty much what we're expecting for Melt-A-Guns at this point. Plasma gun, standard, rapid fire 1, 24-inch range, 1 attack, 4 up to hit, strength 7, negative 1 damage. Overcharge, hazardous, still rapid fire 1, 24-inch, 1 attack, strength 4, strength 8, 4 up to hit, strength 8, negative 3, 2 damage. So you can first rank, second rank your plasmas, which would give you 2 attacks or 3 at 12. Hazardous, after you shoot, roll 1 dice. On a 1, you lose a model. Yeah, nothing shocking there for the plasma. Chainsword, 3 attacks, weapon skill 4, strength 3, AP 0, 1 damage. Close combat, 1 attack, 4 up, strength 3, AP 0, 1 damage. So yeah, so Chainsword just gives you 2 extra attacks, no extra strength, AP, or anything. Yeah, nothing shocking, very generic. Shock Troopers. At the end of your command phase, if this unit is within range of an objective marker you control, that objective marker remains under your control, even if you have no models within range of it until your opponent controls it at the start or end of any turn. Alright, so not even phase, that's be at the start or end of a turn. Alright, so sticky objectives, that's very nice. That's can be very useful. So that's a really nice ability. Everything else, very generic. That's a really good ability. Voxcaster, each time you target the bearer's unit with a stratagem, roll 1d6, adding 1 to the result if there are 1 or more friendly officer models within 6 inches. On a 5+, you gain 1 CP. Sure. Oh, also, yeah, so if you've put a stratagem on them, roll a d6, adding 1 if there are 1 or more friendly officer models within 6. Alright, so basically on a 5-up, you get a CP back for using a stratagem on them, 4-up if they're near an officer. Alright, that's a decent. Nothing, not game-breaking, but definitely useful. Shock Troops is definitely the highlight of the data sheet, I would say. They do have the grenades keyword, which is nice, so you can toss out that mortal wound strat from the generic rulebook. Baneblade. Ooh, we get the big boy here. 9-inch move, toughness 13, 2-up save, 24 wounds, leadership 7, objective control 8. Alright, that's pretty nice. Let's see, the Baneblade cannon. Blast, 72 inches, 3d6, 4 up to hit, strength 12, neg 2, 3 damage. Alright, that's a very decent weapon profile. Coaxial autocannon. Does it say... No, it's not showing us the back, so we don't know. I'm assuming this coaxial autocannon is just an auto weapon. It always has. 48 inches, 2 attacks, hits on 4, strength 9, neg 1, 3 damage. Solid. Demolisher Cannon Blast, 24-inch range, d6 plus 3. Let's skill 4, strength 14, neg 3, d6. Looking at the thing here, it looks like it's going to have both of those guns automatically. Then the autocannons, heavy bolter, looks like the stubber. So maybe you can swap the heavy bolter out for the heavy flamer, or maybe I'm just not seeing the flamer here. But then heavy stubber, 36-inch range, 6 shots at 18, 3 at max. Hits on 4s, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Las Cannon, 48-inch range, 1 attack, 4 up to hit. Strength 12, neg 3, d6 plus 1 damage. Twin Heavy Bolter, sustained hits once, twin linked. So 3 shots, but 6 should hit. You'll get an extra hit, and you can reroll wounds. So hits on 4, strength 5, neg 1, 2 damage. Twin Heavy Flamer, ignores cover, torrent, twin linked. Alright, so it's rerolling wounds and ignores cover. So 12 inches, d6 shots, auto hit, strength 5, neg 1, 1 damage. Solid. Yeah, Baneblade, just lots of shots, all of it pretty solid. So decent profile. We'll see what his points are because he's a super heavy or Titanic. Armor track, 6 attacks, hits on 4, strength 8, AP 0, 1 damage. Once again, vehicles looks like are going to be hitting much better in this edition in combat from what I'm seeing, which I don't hate. Nothing's worse than having a vehicle in combat. I got 8 attacks. I hit on 6s. Like it was almost a waste of a time to swing with vehicles in 9th edition. So I'm liking this. Deadly Demise, D6 plus 2. Ooh, I think that's the biggest explosion we've seen yet. Rolling Fortress, each time a ranged attack is allocated to an Astra Militarum model from your army. If that model is not fully visible to every model in an attacking unit because of this Baneblade model, that model has the benefit of cover against that attack. Alright, so if your models are even partially blocked by the Baneblade, they gain cover. While this model has 1 to 8 wounds remaining, subtract 4 from its objective control characteristic, and each time it makes an attack, subtract 1 to hit. So -1 to hit and -4 objective control. That's huge. I don't think we've seen that anywhere else where people lose objective controls when they're degrading. Maybe it'll be a Titanic thing. Maybe we'll see something like that when we get into Knights. But Baneblade looking solid, as he should. Things are a beast. Leman Russ Battle Cannon. Alright, this is one of the most generic, well-known weapons on the Leman Russes, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of these. So it's Blast. 48-inch range, d6 plus 3. Hits on 4, strength 10, neg 1, 3 damage. Alright, it's a decent profile. Especially with Blast, you're shooting into lots of stuff. Gene Stealer Call, Tyranid Horde, something like that. You're putting out a lot of shots. Alright, that's nice. I like that. Volcano Cannon, Blast Heavy. 96-inch range. I mean, maybe you're playing Apocalypse or something, but like anything over 60 is pointless on a 44 by 60 table. D3 plus 1 attacks, but it has Blast, 4 up to hit, strength 24, neg 5, 12 damage. Oh, 12 damage, that's good, so you don't got to get a lot through. But it's heavy, so if you stay stationary, you get hit on 3s. Yeah, that's a vehicle killing weapon right there for sure. Yeah, Knights, Land Raiders, stuff like that. Yeah, look out. As much as vehicles look like they're going to be more survivable, you pop your Land Raider out in front of this thing, you might not have it when you get to your next turn. Yeah, because at neg 5, even a 2-up save on a Land Raider, that's a 7. So unless you somehow give your Land Raider cover or +1 save, you're not getting a save. Reinforcements. All right, look at these stratagems. Any phase, 1 regiment unit from your army that was just destroyed. You can use this stratagem on that unit even though it was just destroyed. Add a new unit to your army identical to the destroyed unit in strategic reserves at its starting strength with all of its wounds remaining. This stratagem cannot be used to return destroyed character units to attached units. Whoa. 1 regiment unit. So I'm assuming it's only going to be like infantry squads, possibly conscripts. Oh, I don't know if conscripts will get the regiment keyword. They're more like prisoners a lot of times. Or probably 1 just regular type guard unit you can bring back. Doesn't say anywhere that this can only be used once per battle that I'm seeing. So if you got the CP, you could just potentially keep recycling guard units. Not that they're the most broken thing, but if those Cadians, let's see if they had regiment on them, bringing back units that you can bring from reserve that have sticky objectives. Regiment, yeah. So you can bring back them and get on, start sticking the objectives again. All right, I really like that. That could be. I mean, it's just guard units, but you bring back a 20-man for 2 CP. That's nothing to be completely overlooked. That could be solid. Alright, I like the guard. Looks good. I didn't see anything looking too overpowered. I mean, the Baneblade is a beast, but they're normally super expensive for their points, so as long as the point cost for it is, in line with all the shots it puts out, that should be fine. Orders, I mean, that's what you expect from guard. Reinforcements is fine. I mean, yeah, I didn't. Oh, they only gave us one army roll up. They just gave us the regular Astra Militarum rule, right? They didn't give us the detachment ability. So I'll be interested to see what the detachment ability is. But that's pretty much it for the Astra Militarum